from the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 360.
Hey, listen up, fellas. You want to talk about a complete team win? That was the definition of it. Give yourself a round of applause. Hey, defense, 3 takeaways. 17 points on offense off turnovers. Special teams, hell of a job covering. That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah! Hey, real quick, this one's a little more special, right? It's a little more special, right? There's a man, right, that gave so much to this city and this organization, right? He bleeded blue. He represented the horseshoe every single day. He loved this team, right? He's not with us physically, but he's in this locker room spiritually. And he's watching down on us, right? And he raised, right, 3 daughters, right, to run a football team. And we couldn't be more thankful for you 3 girls. But it means a lot to me and everyone in this organization, how he raised you guys, right, to put you in this position to go lead this organization. And we're so thankful for all 3 of you guys. And we got 3 game balls here. All right.
This means so much. Someone said the roof is open so he could watch us, and he was with every single one of you, including us. And thank you for doing this for us, but for him, he loved this team so much, and this really, really means a lot. These types of moments are what meant every single moment like this. He would tell us as part of our bedtime stories, like, this meant everything, and it also means so much to us. So from the bottom of all of our hearts, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Let's get a win for Jim. You guys got it? Win!
Starting off this week's Colts 360 with the first locker room victory speech of the season. And Coach, it was an emotional one. How do you describe what the atmosphere was like in your locker room last Sunday?
It was special, to win week 1 at home in front of our home crowd, but to do it the way we did it, and Mr. Irsay going into the Ring of Honor, it was special. And to have, the daughters in there, and obviously being full-time owners now with Carly, Kaylin, and Casey, to be able to give them, a game ball, their first win as an owner with their dad, looking down on us yesterday, it was very emotional and very special in that locker room.
There were so many week 1 specific tributes to Mr. Irsay, but you created a season-long tradition. Can you tell me about how this came to be? We saw DeForest walking into the stadium on Sunday carrying this new guitar in honor of Mr. Irsay.
Yeah, in the spring when he passed away, I was just thinking of different ways to honor him this season. And when I think of Mr. Irsay, I just think of gratitude and just thankful and what he did for so many people in this city and in this organization and outside this city. And I know he had the Jim Irsay band, and I know he loved music. And so it just kind of came to me. I was in my office one day. I was like, man, what if we created a guitar, with our totem on it that says "Win for Jim," and that he's not with us physically anymore, but his spirit will be with us all the time, and it's a way to honor him. So every Saturday night in the team meeting, I'll pick out a player to carry that guitar into the stadium, whether it's a home game or a road game, and then we'll have a guitar stand, in the locker room where they place it, just so he's always with us. And had some help from Pete Ward, our team president, in getting it done. I remember talking to Pete. I said, hey, I want to make this a surprise. And I don't want, the daughters to know about it until the start of the season. And we'll let the team know and surprise everyone with it. And I remember before training camp, I said, we're still good with that? And he said, yeah. He's like, let me know if you need any help. And it was probably about 2 weeks before training camp. I said, no, I need your help. I said, I don't even know where to start with the guitar. And he started reaching out to people because I knew the connections with him and Mr. Irsay. And,
that's the guy to go to.
That's the guy to go to. Pete will get it done. And, he reached out to some people at the University of Purdue their guitar lab up there, and they did a phenomenal job putting this thing together. And it's a state-of-the-art guitar. It's fully functional. It's an awesome deal.
That is going to be something to look forward to all season long. And after Sunday's game, I talked with Michael Pittman Jr. on the field just about the game entirely, and then also about the performance of Daniel Jones. One thing that I observed after Pitt's touchdown, he ran back and gave that ball to Daniel. What does that say about how this team, not just this offense, has rallied behind your quarterback?
I think it says a lot. Obviously, seeing that moment that you just talked about, obviously Daniel's first touchdown pass as a Colt, and just, Pitt giving it back to him, just the faith and trust that they have in him out there. And the way he went about his business week one out there on the field was awesome, but that's what he's been doing since he got here. The work he puts in, the preparation he puts in. The guys have rallied around him, so it was awesome to see him have that performance for us on Sunday.
We were chatting with Cam Bynum as well, so I told him before this interview, I said, okay, tell me what I should ask Coach Steichen. And he said, ask Coach where he had the most fun in Sunday's game, because he said you were getting into it.
Gosh, I don't know. There was a lot of fun moments. Every turnover was awesome. That was sweet. The quarterback sneaks were awesome.
Yeah.
The touchdowns were awesome. Yelling at the officials was awesome.
Finishing every drive with points.
Yeah, I think, whatever it was, 7, possessions, 7 scores. Like I said, it was just a great team win. I'm just so proud of the guys, all 3 phases, the coaching staff, the whole organization. What went into week one was huge, and honoring the man that did so much for everybody was just special.
When you talk about the coaching staff, and we talked about this is Daniel's first game as a Colt, Lou Anarumo's first regular season game coaching as a Colt. As the offensive play caller, what is most fun about kind of matching up and having that compliment in Lou as the defensive play caller?
Well, getting the takeaways is awesome. I think our offense had great field position all day, and just the aggressive nature that he comes after teams with was awesome, and the guys really going out and executing, his plan was great. Like I said, the takeaways, Bynum getting the pick, the sack fumble by Kenny, Latu getting a pick, dropping in coverage. I mean, there are so many plays, and we got to continue to do that. You got to keep going. It's 1 week at a time, but it was a great way to start the season.
You mentioned it. That's exactly where I wanted to go. Is obviously this team entered the season with such a sense of urgency. You talked about creating an edge. That was put on display in week one. How do you keep your foot on the gas and keep that same intensity and that urgency now as you look ahead to week 2 against Denver?
Yeah, it's don't let up, and we got to demand it as coaches. That's our job, to hold everybody accountable. It's 1 day at a time. Nothing can change. Our mindset can't change. It's a long season. And we got to have that same intensity and that same laser focus this week going into Denver.
And we got to have that same crowd energy on Sunday back at Lucas Oil Stadium. Coach, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
Coming up, voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, back with me in studio. He provides perspective on what we learned from the Colts' dominant Week 1 win and what he's looking for moving forward to a battle with the Broncos. Next on Colts 360.
Enter now for your kid's chance to be Junior Blue at the next Colts home game. Visit Colts.com/Meyer Junior Blue to enter today.
Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, proud orthopedic partner of the Indianapolis Colts. At Forte, fellowship-trained physicians and staff provide comprehensive, specialized sports medicine and orthopedic care to active patients of all ages. To learn more, visit forteortho.com.
Back on Colts 360 and back in studio with voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor. Now, often, Mayte here likes to greet you with a, what do you know? So that's exactly the theme of today's segment. Mayte, what do you know about the 2025 Indianapolis Colts after Week 1? Because typically Week 1 is kind of the biggest mystery, the toughest to predict across the league because no one's seen each other yet, and there was a lot to see last Sunday at Lucas Oil
Well, what do you
Stadium.
know? The Colts are pretty good, at least through the first game of the season. And it was just really exciting to see all of the reasons why Shane Steichen wanted to roll with Daniel Jones at quarterback play out in the first game of the season. I mean, he was so masterful pre-snap, recognizing things at the line of scrimmage, getting the Colts, into good plays, out of bad plays. I mean, he was sensational. I mean, completed 75% of his passes, 272 yards. His passer rating was off the charts. He got the ball out quick, but he also was able to push the ball down the field. He mixed in 7 different receivers. He ran in a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah.
He had the 11-yard scramble for a big play. So Daniel Jones, through the first game of the season, really gives this Colts team and this offense a great chance to win. And I think it's important too, because obviously, there was that decision to make in the offseason about which quarterback to go with. I think it's fun to see this city and the fan base come together and get behind Daniel Jones, right? Because obviously, the players and the coaches and the front office, they're behind Daniel Jones. But I think it's fun to see this city sort of back this guy. And if he plays any way sort of similar to the way he did in week 1 and week 2 and beyond, I think the Colts really have something on offense, and they got a great chance to win.
And then the new additions for this team offensively, notably Daniel Jones. It was also the Colts' debut in the regular season for the rookie Tyler Warren, who, for lack of a better description, looked anything but rookie week 1.
Yeah, you and I joked off the air after the game. Tyler Warren, based on what he did after the first game, he looked like he'd been in the NFL for 5 years. Like it was his 60th career game instead of his first. He just looked so in control, so poised. You saw it right out of the gate. The first target of the game goes to Tyler Warren for a first down. In fact, 3 of Daniel Jones' first 6 targets for the game go to Tyler Warren. He had 3 big catches on that first drive of the game. He has 7 catches for 76 yards for the entire afternoon. And, it's not hyperbole. It's facts. Last year, the Colts' leading receiver from a tight end standpoint in terms of catches for the entire year was Kylan Granson. He had 14 for the entire season. Well, Tyler's already halfway there. Right? So, just all the things that he can do. When he's on the field with 2 tight ends, when he's on the field, out there with Mo Alley-Cox, you can run out of that formation because he's a willing blocker. He's very physical, but it's like playing with 3 wide receivers as well, because he's a mismatch on a linebacker. You can split him out wide. The Colts had him in the backfield for that one play, lining him up as an H-back, and they give him the ball as a fullback, and he gets a first down. So you and I again talked. I think the Colts are just now kind of scratching the surface of all the things they can do from a creativity standpoint with Tyler Warren and all of his versatility usage. And
then looking at what the Colts can do from the defensive standpoint, from what you saw out of Lou Anarumo's group, so many of those new additions. Cam Bynum announced himself as an Indianapolis Colt right there on that first Miami drive. What have we learned about this defense and the identity of what they're going to be moving forward?
The defense, it's going to drive itself from back to front. The key to this defense under Lou Anarumo is going to lie within that secondary. All of the experience, all the savviness of all the guys that have all of that experience, guys like Charvarius Ward and Cam Bynum, like you mentioned. You bring in Xavier Howard, coupled with what you already have in Kenny Moore II. And that's what they did against Tua Tagovailoa last week. They were able to confuse him just enough pre-snap to create that shadow of a doubt and to force him into some overthrows, some bad plays that led to takeaways by the Colts. They limited a legitimate offense to just barely over 200 yards, and a lot of that yardage, or some of that yardage, came late. When
almost
the game was
shut them out.
Absolutely, right? Giving up only 8 points. The touchdown came late, but you did it. The thing that I'm most encouraged by is you were game specific against an offense that was loaded with playmakers, but you did it against a legitimate quarterback, right? Tua Tagovailoa, statistically one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and he's been around a long time, and you were able to confuse him just enough to dominate the game.
And we'll be back at it at Lucas Oil Stadium this Sunday as the Colts welcome in the Denver Broncos. Another big test when you talk about offensive weapons, good young quarterback who you're going to have to match up against. Mate, I know you will be there. Tell everyone how they can listen along, follow game day with you on the coverage.
9 hours of coverage on Sunday, every Sunday on the Colts Radio Network, brought to you by Ascension St. Vincent. We start it all this Sunday. We begin at 1 o'clock Eastern time. It's a 4 o'clock game now. Remember, it's a little bit of a late start.
More time to tailgate?
1 o'clock on 93.5, 107.5, and 97.1 Hank FM in Indianapolis. All 9 hours locally in town, and a little bit of a late start, but hopefully into the evening we have a celebration. The Colts trying to get off to a 2-0 start for the first time since 2009.
Mate, you are the best. Can't wait to be back there on game day with you Sunday afternoon.
Absolutely.
Still ahead, a memorable and monumental day at Lucas Oil Stadium. inside the halftime ceremony as the team inducted Jim Irsay into the Colts Ring of Honor. That's next on Colts 360.
This season, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is teaming up with the Colts to shine a light on outstanding small businesses. Indy is our hometown, and boosting local business is just one way we want to thank this great city. Go to Colts.com/Anthem Spotlight to nominate your favorite small business today. Anthem and the Colts, helping Hoosier small businesses score. Satisfy your halftime hunger with Snickers and enter for a chance to win a trip to Super Bowl 60 at Snickers.com/halftime. It's time for the Fordham Credit Union question of the week. Which Indianapolis Colt has the most punt return yards? Clarence Verdun with 1,537. Visit the Forum Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams.
The Colts not only opened the season with a victory, the franchise, former players, and the fans also celebrated Jim Irsay by inducting him into the Colts Ring of Honor. Colts owners Carly Irsay Gordon, Casey Foyt, and Kalen Jackson were joined by Ring of Honor members and Pro Football Hall of Famers Peyton Manning, Dwight Freeney, Edgerrin James, and Marvin Harrison for that very special halftime ceremony. As we wrap up this week's Colts 360, here is a look back at that celebration honoring the boss.
There's a unity within the huddle, the locker room, the brotherhood.
You're with the horseshoe. You're really at a place that authentically cares, okay? Cares about you, your family, your kids.
There's a unity that's formed through belief, through commitment to excellence, through leadership. And that leadership starts at the top.
First playoff victory in Indianapolis, so we know this one's got to go to Jim Irsay.
I remember when you called me in 2002. You said that your vision was not just to win, but to win with the right type of young men, to connect with our city, and connect with our fan base.
Whenever you walk in this locker room, you'll know that I will do what needs to be done to make us the best team possible, no matter what.
That was your vision, Jim, and the horseshoe has done that.
People derive so much joy from what you guys bring up in there on Sunday. Nothing like it. So much joy. You inspire so many people.
Those who have worn the horseshoe know your passion.
Thank you, Jim Irsay family. Thank you so much for drafting me, this young guy from Syracuse.
Those who have gathered here on Sundays have felt your impact. And now, those alongside you honor your legacy. You didn't just lead a franchise, you built a football family. This, the Ring of Honor, is dedicated to Colts greats, and you, Jim, are at the top of that list.
When someone says the word yes, it's a conscious choice. For Jim Irsay, that word came often, and each time it did, it was to help this team win. Jim Irsay said yes to his heart's true calling, the Indianapolis Colts. He gave this city a team it could pour its heart into. As players, we could feel Jim's commitment every day. His office was in the facility. He was in the locker room after games, both home and away. He loved the Colts, the horseshoe, and that was the kind of owner every player dreams of playing for. Jim gave us a stage and you a team. He did everything he could to make sure we were worthy of your cheers. But even at your very best, it was never just you, the fans, behind us. It was Jim. He didn't just own the Colts. He bound us all together. His legacy roars with every one of you. There is no place Jim Irsay belongs more than right here in the Colts Ring of Honor. Jim, we love you, we miss you, and your spirit will live on forever through your family. Please welcome now Colts owner and CEO Carly Gordon Irsay.
Good afternoon, Lucas Oil. Oh, I'm much shorter. Good afternoon, Lucas Oil Stadium. Kaylin and Casey, can you please do the honors? Thank you all so much. Especially, we'd like to thank our Ring of Honor members for helping us induct our dad and grandpa into our Ring of Honor. Dad, we wish you were here. Colts Nation, thank you for your support these past months. Our dad loved you. It brought him the utmost pride and joy to be the steward of this franchise that has brought us all the Lombardi Trophy, so many winning seasons, and what brings us all together. While there are no words that fully capture what our dad meant to the Colts and Indianapolis, our aim is true: to honor our dad and make him proud by living our mission, to entertain, inspire, and unite by winning the right way. As much as we will miss our dad, we know he'd want us to look forward, to win games and to make our horseshoes shine. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So, let's do this. Without further ado, I present you Jim Irsay, 2025 Ring of Honor inductee. Thank you.